plans supplementary budget. Lagos Ogba to be precise. I bring to you another edition of Christian Chico on this one edition of the program. I have my wonderful committed reviewers here this morning. They are here to do justice to the newspaper headlines. Anambra decides today as people go out to vote their governor. We have the PDP, the APC, we have APGA, we have ZLP and other parties. That people are out, yes, people are out on the streets of Anambra, and we are yet to see the presence of Inec commissioners in the state. That will be our main focus this morning. Okay, let me go straight to the newspaper. This morning I have the Saturday's Punch newspaper with me. Saturday Punch. What does the Saturday Punch have for us? INEC says 100 billion naira inadequate for 2023 polls. Plans supplementary budget. INEC says 100 billion naira inadequate for 2023 polls. Plans supplementary budget. Justice Odili's home raid may cost Malami San title, says NBA president. Justice Odili's home raid may cost Malami San title, says NBA president. FG fumes as court stops $480 million deduction from 36 states' account. Federal government fumes as court stops $418 million deduction from 36 states' account. Baba Ijesha to face fresh defilement charge. Baba Ijesha to face fresh defilement charge from police. Police is saying that. Anambra poll, INEC plans. Look at the headline, made headline on the Punch this morning. Anambra plans e-transmission of results from 5,634 polling units. INEC polls e-transmission results. INEC plans e-transmission of results from 5,634 polling units to deploy new system for voters, fingerprints, facial accreditation. To deploy a new system for voters, fingerprints, facial accreditation. Procures life accident insurance for over 26,000 election workers. Procures life accident insurance for over 26,000 election workers. Soludo Uba Ozigbo 15 others battle for 2.5 million votes. Soludo Uba Ozigbo battles for 2.5 billion votes. Buried in rubble of 21-story Ikoyi building surrounded by corpses. We thought the end had come. That is from the survivors recounting their experience. Corpse ready for identification, Lagos tells families. Corpse ready for identification, Lagos tells families. Attack on NDA embarrassing. We saw no need to fortify academy. Attack on NDA embarrassing. We saw no need to fortify academy. That's from the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff. 5 killed, many injured in Goje. Gombe governor's men rampage. 5 killed, many injured in Goje. Gombe governor's men rampage. Shites worry over El Zakzaki's wife's health as court shifts 4 billion naira case till 2022. Shites worry over El Zakzaki's wife's health as court shifts 4 billion naira case till 2022. Declare bandits terrorists under 24 hours. Reps tell Buhari declare bandits terrorists under 24 hours. reps tell Buhari again. That is what we have for today. Let's have a review. This might have Mr. Charles.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Christian. How was your night? How was your night?
Yeah, happy weekend.
I will bless God. Will bless God.
Anambra decides today.
Well, the best way to fight war is by dialogue. Are you getting me? The best way to resolve a dispute, to resolve an issue, is through dialogue. Thank God.
Who are we dialoguing with now?
I think the government have decided to dialogue with the IPP members. So definitely, there is a positive dialogue between the both parties. Because
I didn't see anywhere the government said they were going to dialogue with IPP members.
Because if they didn't dialogue with them, if they didn't come out to urge the people of Anambra that they should please stay away from this, what we call it, sit-at-home order, I don't think anybody is coming out would have come out today to vote. But that is to tell you that it's also there's different ways, there's different means, and there are different ways of dialoguing with people. Dialogue might not be that maybe I came to you discussing, the way they were saying it, they should please allow this sit-at-home not to take place. It's also another means of dialoguing. So, well, it's okay. I wish anybody that is coming out as anybody that is going to win, all the best.
Okay, let's look at which of the governors are you looking at as your favorite, as you expect to win?
I'm not from Anambra, I'm from Imo State, to be precise. Most of them, when you look at their personal credentials, their personal achievement, they are all good. Are you getting me? I am not saying Soludo. I'm Charles by name. So if I should be going by my namesake, Charles Soludo. But because of his namesake, doesn't mean that maybe he has a perfect match or credential to overrule others. So anybody that God have destined that is going to be the governor of Anambra, well, I wish the person all the best.
Okay, so, live in Anambra State, people they're having their accreditation. But few weeks before now, people were saying no election, no election, no election. There will be no election. Even people came on this platform saying there will be no election. Now, I think it has changed.
I was even among the persons that said that the election will not hold in Anambra. And I told you earlier, the dialogue, even if you ask the whole Anambra people to come out, do you know that a lot of people will be afraid to come out today? Because they might tell you that they don't know their mind, they don't know what the IPP member has in mind. But the truth of the matter is that some weeks back, we were saying that there's not going to be election in Anambra State because people were afraid because of what they don't know the plans of IPP members towards those security people that were brought in. But as it stands now, they are free to come out because, like I said, there has been a compromise and a dialogue between the government and the masses, being the IPP member. And I told you earlier that dialoguing does not mean maybe I came to you, I sat with you. You know, from weeks now they have been saying it, that even the gubernatorial candidate were saying it, that they should please allow the election to take place. Please, the sit-at-home order for 1 week. They should please not even allow that to take place. So definitely, it's a means of dialogue. No, definitely, they will come out and vote. Yesterday, I was listening over the radio this morning in Oka, that's close to Unity of a thing. They said people have started coming out to exercise their franchise. Because whether you like it or not, they also have, even if they are clamoring for Biafra, they also have somebody whom they have in mind that they want to vote in for. As long as they were being allowed. Are you getting me? As long as they were being allowed to exercise their fundamental human right, being their franchise, as a stipulated in the Nigerian Constitution. So definitely they will come out. And what we are praying is nothing but a free and fair election.
Are you sure of a free and fair election?
Well, there's never a day where you will come out in this country, since you were born till now, that you come out and tell the whole world that there has been a fair and a free and fair election in this country.
I experienced Abiola election.
There's nothing like Abiola. Yes, that was 92, right? How old were you? 93. Look at this young man. He said he experienced Abiola's election. My brother, there's no how, and there's never a day where there's not going to be rancor or an issue, burning of ballot paper or ballot box from one end to another. In this country, it's very, very hard for you to witness a free and fair election. But we are just hoping on God. Are you getting me? It's only God that knows how the election is going to take place. But we are praying, you and I, we are here in Lagos, but we are not praying for nothing less than free and fair election, of which anybody can bear me witness. Even a councillorship election has never been free and fair in this country. Even the chairmanship election has never been free and fair in this country. Calculus of a gubernatorial election. Even if you ask the whole saint from heaven to come down, believe me, there's going to be a place where there will be, fights, and if care is not taken, you find out that somebody is being killed. So that is why most of the people are clamoring, they're saying that please, their loved ones, if you know that you have a stop on somebody that is going to come out during this election, just advise him not to come out, because whether you like it or not, somebody will go down, but that's not the prayer. We are praying for free and fair election. Thank you very much.
Will you be surprised if APC wins the election?
I am not, see my brother, I am not surprised. Like I said, whoever the masses elected to be the next governor of Anambra State, fine and good. But trust me, the APC you are talking about, who is an APC candidate there? Is it Andoba? Chase Andoba. APC might win, APC might not win. Because what I believe is that APC, they will not win that election. Are you getting me? Because even the government knows they are sensible enough. The government will never, I don't know, I'm just saying this, my own personal point of view. I don't know about others. I don't know what others feel. But the government will not allow APC to win that place. Because once an APC wins an election in Anambra State, trust me, they will also assume that it's an APC, it's a Buhari state.
Okay.
Are you getting me? So Abga is here, PDP is here. So these are the two major parties that people will be fighting to see that they come out victoriously.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. David. Good morning, Mr. David.
Good morning to you, Mr. Christian Chukwu.
I wish we could go to Anambra together. Would you? And see what's happening here.
If you pay for my flights,
are you not going to be afraid of the insecurity situation in that area?
I'm not, since I'll be going as an observer, just to see how things are done and just institution reports.
It seems there is relative peace in Anambra State this morning. I was looking at some stories and you see everybody coming out for accreditation.
For now, there has not been any reports of any casualty. The election has been going on smoothly, and just like one thing I want to say is that yesterday when I got the news that IPOB reached an agreement with federal government, I was surprised. I still find it hard to believe that agreement was being reached. I don't know what transpired from like Thursday to yesterday when the announcement was made. I totally don't know what up to now. I'm still like, what really happened? I'm still like, what will happen? To me as a political analyst, I weigh up the options that what has the federal government done? What did they entice the IPOB, or did the IPOB succumb to the federal government? I totally don't know what happened. I'm still looking for official statements. Well, I don't know who might have been the mediator to have made that happen.
We heard that Igbo stakeholders and politicians mediated with IPOB, saying they are going to facilitate the release of Nnamdi Kanu. That may be one of the reasons.
Nobody's sure. Nobody's sure. That's it. Because even in build up to the election, IPOB were like, there will be no election, there will be no election, there will not be election, and then majority of the electorates have even keen to that there will not be election now. But 24 hours along the line, the game plan changed. The game plan changed. I was like, wow, Charlie, no, know what transpired. So whatever might have transpired, I want to believe IPOB should be very, very careful because the government can be so deceitful. You know, the government you might play along with the government, but along the line, but the truth of the matter is, would they release Muslim Kanu? What this government understand is what violence. What is body government understand is violence. If you don't, if if you as an agitator fighting for a referendum, what you need to do is always hit the government, hit them hard. Because if you want to dialogue with them, the government of Buhari would always take you for granted. So I believe this decision would all go well in their favor. It will go well in their favor. They should not at the end bite their fingers or regret dialogue. Regret dialoguing with this federal government because at first they should have weighed so many options. They should have weighed their options before them coming out in public to tell everybody to come out and vote. Because the body government I know, the body government I know will not want to release Maaz Nkanu. That I know for sure. So IPOB should have consulted widely before agreeing to this offer. I don't know if truly they have agreed or fully. I don't know what really happened. Along the line, I'm still finding it difficult to believe that IPOB council is at home. I'm still finding it difficult.
You look at it as a good decision.
Someone was telling me money. The federal government gave them money. I said I don't know. I cannot come on here and say what I don't know. I don't know what has transpired from Thursday to Friday morning. But I know Inec Abadibe said something about meeting with the federal government on behalf of the IPOB. I actually don't know. I cannot say. So, your question.
Do you see the decision of the IPOB as wise?
Mr. Knetiku, that's a very strong question, a tough one. For me, some persons will say David is the enemy of Nigeria. To me, that move is wise and still not a very wise move.
You are answering like a politician.
Yes, because that move, to me, is not a very wise move, and to me, is still a very wise. Because what I say is, it's not a very wise move that you cannot, if there is no written agreement between the federal government and you and the IPOB, that once there's election, Mazi Nkanu will be released. It is not a very good move. Any agreement that is not documented, my brother, is not an agreement. Verbal agreement. The government can come back and still deny the what agreement. Inec Abadibe can still come on here and say there was never a time he reached an agreement with the IPOB. Do you know that? Any agreement that is just verbal, my brother, is no agreement.
Okay, let's leave the election.
And then again, when I say it's a wise move, because it's a wise move in the sense that international communities will not tag IPOB as a terrorist organization. Because if you are fighting for a referendum, at least surely election will still go on. So if you want to agitate for what referendum, you don't need to stop election in a particular state. Now, not like next month now. A court will hear the suit for the referendum, allowing the Igbos to go. There will be a suit next month in the court of in the Federal High Court Abuja. So to me, is a win-win for the IPOB, and then to me, is not a good move for them too. So please, I don't know what I believe IPOB should weigh the options before they have agreed to this plan. But I believe the federal government is always deceitful. It's always deceitful. They should tread with caution. They should tread with caution.
Okay, Justice Odili's home raid may cost Malami his son title, says NBA president.
Is Malami a lawyer?
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Malami
registered.
Malami is an Islamic lawyer.
Attorney
General of Federation
of Nigeria.
It's just an appointment. It's by appointment. what elected
If you're not a
office.
qualified person, would you be appointed?
But is very qualified to be president of this country. Is very qualified by all standard. By no, let's just weigh the option. By all
He
standards,
led Nigeria before.
he
as
led
head of state.
he led Nigeria as that when he was the military
That's
head of state. He does not have experience. If Buhari had experience, Nigeria would not be in such disarray. Yes. Now, okay, now the president was ousted of office in 1985. IPB ousted him out of office. Ever since the president of office, Buhari has not gone back to school. Buhari has not gone back to build himself. Buhari has not gone back to classroom to learn how modern governance is. Since 1985, Buhari is in Daura taking care of cows. He does not know how modern government look like.
But your leaders endorsed him.
Who are leaders?
The likes of Tinubu, the likes of Ahmed.
Tinubu is not my leader. Tinubu has never been my leader. For the fact I said in Lagos State does not make Tinubu my leader. Even Tinubu himself, Tinubu himself does have certificates. Does Tinubu himself has certificates? He claimed to finish in this school, Toronto University. All these days, show your certificates. So best of Saint Federal flocks together. So I believe you can see what happened. Atiku left office. Atiku still went back to school after last election. He still went back to school. You can see every leader that wants to lead Nigeria now should be someone who is what eloquent, who is sound. You left office since 5 years ago. You could not even improve yourself educationally. You just remain stagnant in one place because you have the numbers. Just want to come and contest election and Buhari won. If Nigeria actually to be is a same country, Buhari is not fit to be a councillor.
A councillor?
Yes, he's not fit to be a councillor. He's not fit because a president cannot come out and what address the media. He's not fit to be. He's not fit to be in a same country. You can see the build up to the 2019 election where there was where he had this press conference. It was Oshibanjo that was answering question on his behalf on the live TV program. And president, every day he will come out, my fellow Nigerians.
Okay, let's look at e-transmission of the results. That's what Inec will use for this election. How do you look at the method?
It's a work on development. I think it was tested in Kaduna, and then it was free. Even the fact that Kaduna is an APC state, PDP won some local governments there. Kudos to the e-transmission of the result. So if that could be done in what Anambra, there will not be election rigging. There will not be, because once you vote at that polling booth, election is being transferred into a particular server. Not that one election, not that you go to one local government and you can't vote. Nobody is counting vote. Once you vote, the result will be transmitted to a particular server, which will be monitored by only the stakeholders of the Inec officials alone. It's a very welcome development. It will even improve our electionary process. It will give room for free and fair elections. Because nothing like go to this place, I'm losing. If one particular candidate is losing, there will be nothing like ballot snatching. Nobody will send it to go to what Oshodi and snatch ballot box. It's a very welcome development. That is so we need to embrace modern innovations, modern technologies. That is how countries does. Okay. It's a very welcome development, and I want to believe now the election there will be no victor, no vanquish. Whosoever emerge victorious.
Whether it's APC?
No, APC cannot win. APC cannot win.
You are saying whosoever.
Whosoever, but I know
there's not
APC cannot win. APC cannot win. I start to be corrected. So now the race is between Abga and PDP. See, APC in Anambra State, people don't want to hear APC in Anambra State. You want to inflict more pain. You want to inflict more pain.
I made a prediction. I still stand on my word. APC is going to win Anambra.
APC will not win. See,
That's my personal.
Mr. Kusechiku, for the fact about 7 commissioners defected to what APC, will not still make them win.
The deputy governor.
You deputy governor does he have structure? Does he have influence? Does he have influence? Take it up. See, I believe Abga will win, but if Abga does not emerge, PDP would win. So those are 2 persons I'm predicting. It will be unfair.
No,
it will be unfair. No, with this.
No.
Imo State scenario is quite different from this one. It was the verdict of the judges. When they got to the ballot box, PDP won them, hands down. It was the verdict from the Supreme Court judge, Tanko. Yes.
What if the Inec commissioner declares it inconclusive?
You never try him. You never try him. See,
Excuse me. What made you think? Excuse me, sorry, please.
No, let me.
No,
you can. Yeah.
Yes. What did you just ask?
If the Inec commissioner declares it inconclusive, what will happen?
Okay, let me tell you what will happen. Nothing on this earth will happen, right? You see power. And we are telling you that the Nigerian president is the most powerful man or the most powerful president in the world, right? Let me tell you something. I'm from Imo State, and I saw what happened because I was in the East when Hope Uzodinma was declared the winner, okay? Right? Before that time, they surrounded every place with military and policemen, mobile policemen. Before the announcement, I'm telling you the truth. Before the announcement, like 3 or 4 hours before the announcement, we surrounded every place with mobile policemen and soldiers. When the announcement now came, there was no atom of debate or no atom of protest, please. What I'm just trying to tell you is that we are just praying. This is Africa. We are not operating this kind of modern democracy in US or in Britain and so on and so forth. This is Africa. They manipulate a lot. Let me give you another scenario. If Goodluck Jonathan had been a hard man like Buhari, you understand? Like being a hard man like Buhari, he would have been ruling Nigeria up to today. Nothing would have happened. I know what I'm telling you.
Can you respond to that?
No, when he said nothing would happen, but the truth matter is that
they will riot for 2 weeks.
The reputation of Professor Ambud Yakub is at stake. His integrity.
Jega doesn't have reputation. Jega
doesn't he has
reputation.
You know that Jega is a politician. Jega is a politician. Jega has said it himself that come 2023 he wants to contest, and then you know that before that time there was an alliance between APC and Jega. We all knew where Jega loyalty lies. And now let me tell you something. What happened in Osun State would not play out again, because if you look at the Osun State election, then PDP was winning before the INEC officials declared that election as inconclusive. So now that one alone has taught that one alone has taught PDP a lesson. You can see what happened in this Edo State. So what's the build up when this guy was leading? Obaseki was leading. When he was leading, and then there were some issues in some polling units and some local governments. Now, INEC tried to get the election inconclusive. Wike came out and made a press conference to the world. He said nobody should declare this election inconclusive. He said nobody should declare this election inconclusive. He threatened them there at that spot. You can see that made them INEC to reverse their decision, because as the world was watching. So see, if you were beaten, so you cannot be beaten twice. It's impossible. You can't be beaten twice. So that alone has sent a very good signal to the PDP. It said that this issue of what inconclusive election has always been scam. So now PDP would not want that. They was even the opposition party would not want that.
Okay.
So
Okay. Thank you very much,
thank you.
Mr. David. That is Mr. David talking now. I have Mr. Chigozie this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Christian.
I hope you
It's
heard.
okay.
Okay. I hope you heard that man saying that the election might be the same as Imo State.
Might be the same.
Yeah. And nothing will happen if APC wins the
Well,
election.
the word might, first of justice, of course, that is subject to argument. He is not just saying that the outcome of the election might be influenced. I don't disagree with that position because I continue to maintain that we don't have a system in Nigeria which can be trusted as far as the election is concerned. You see, it's high time we begin to think outside the box. You see, the German government
Pledge to interfere.
adopted this what did he call it again? It have the most trusted electionarian process, blockchain.
Okay.
You see, they introduced the blockchain technology to drive a more transparent and, of course, free election. So, but we are still, Nigerian system government have not solved the basic necessity that borders on the welfare of our citizenry. So how, let alone to begin to talk about uh, blockchain technology, we don't even enjoy free data. You can see how much you spend on weekly basis. You see, if you must get hooked up with the internet, you see, average of 3,000 in a week, and sometimes the service
3,000.
in a week, and
Sometimes it's more than that.
so, more than that. I'm just saying average of 3,000, depending on if you are a heavy. You make use of internet about 6 hours or so. You must have to spend more than that. So, for what he's saying, I think he's in the right direction. But you don't expect anything different if that happens, because they wanted to exploit the IPOP sit at home to their own advantage. But thank God the IPOP DOS listened to the voice of wisdom, voice of reasoning. And we do hope that people will be given the opportunity to exercise their franchise or their legitimate rights to choose whosoever pilot the affairs of Anambra State for the next 4 years, if Nigeria exists beyond this time. Because with what is happening already, Nigeria system is already, in disarray. So I shouldn't be surprised if Nigeria blow up today. Heaven will not fall. Yes. If Nigeria is splitted today, heaven will not fall. I want to make it clear. You see? So that is the true position. Okay. Because what is going on now, people are dissatisfied, have lost their, of course, hope in the Nigerian system or in the Nigeria program or whatever, project or whatever you call it. We can continue in such a system. You see, it's quite unfortunate. Look at how many people that we have been killed as a result of power tussle, driven by political elites. They want to clamp down, intimidate, or almost, if possible, annihilate the opponents, especially when they see you as being a threat to their ambition to cling to the power, the seat of power. So it's nothing new if such happens.
Are you saying the decision of the IPB is wise or unwise?
It's, of course, is to the advantage of the IPOB family, because if they have not changed that position, the current dispensation of Muhammad Buhari will seize that opportunity to perpetuate genocide. And most of the facilities and the infrastructures within Anambra will be collapsed by the security agent. That is their target. They want to destroy the system, the structures, infrastructure that have been raised or set up by the Anambrian citizens. You see, the indigenous people of Anambra State. That is their target. If IPOP had not changed their mind, have not acted in this prudence, in fact, Anambra probably would have been agog by now. But thank God that they have proven to the world that they are what they claim to be, that they resort to diplomatic and legal process in pursuance of their, of course, legitimate and politically protected rights, which is self-determination.
One of the reasons why this, according to some reports, the sit-at-home was suspended because of there's a dialogue with the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. You trust the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu at the end of the day?
Who is the federal government?
Federal government comprises of the presidency, legislative, executive, judiciary.
Buhari does not have more than one head. He does not have more than two lives. These are one head, one life. So what is special about him, for crying loud? A man who has no certificate, a man who could not make a simple text, simple speech to address the teeming population of the Nigerian masses. You see? He lacks the acumen and faculty or intellectual capability to drive a system with the plurality of ethnic and social backgrounds. So he lacked that, of course, problem-fixing skill or technique, resolution skill. So he has nothing to do. In fact, if in a sane society, he shouldn't still be occupying the seats of power. He has contravened and contradicted the international laws or diplomacy guiding the rules of extradition. You see, what he did is an indictment not to the entire Nigerian system. In the community of nations, they begin to see Nigeria in the eyes of terrorism. It's a country that you can't be safe. Buhari has done more damage to the Nigerian system. So what is he, who is he to determine the freedom of Mazim Nnamdi Kanu? He's nobody to reckon with, for crying loud. You see? In a sense society, a man of his time shouldn't have even dreamed of becoming a councillor or vying for a position of councillor to represent his own ward. It's just an unfortunate system called Nigeria that such could happen. So he has nothing at all. Who is he to say whether Nnamdi Kanu should be released or not? You see?
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu is bigger than. How do you compare? It's an institution. He's a learned fellow, sound in every respect. So who is it to compare to? In fact, that negotiation is just useless. As far as that is my personal opinion. Huh?
Okay.
He has lost the battle, and of course, he has to, of course, defend himself in the court of law, because people are, of course, the legal councils and the interest party to this consign are not keeping mute, are not relenting. He should be made to face the full wrath of the law or the consequences of such rendition, so that it will serve as a deterrence to other communities of nations or countries of the likes of Nigeria who may want to indulge in such heinous and atrocious action, which of course is a very disappointing one for that matter.
Let's look at this. Malami has been threatened by the NBA president that he may lose his certificate or his sanship because of the case of Odili. What do you think about that?
Of course, as I rightly said, the likes of Malami shouldn't have been called to bar in the first place. You see, when you listen to him, it seems he's not in time with the law of the state, which he presides over as the Attorney General. I think he should be tutored what the nitty-gritties of the law, the content of the law. Because sometimes he makes some assertions and public statements, which I mean, I end up, I could not help but continue to laugh. Very ridiculous. So I think, why should they be considering or otherwise? They should have withdrawn that by now. It doesn't deserve to preside over learned fellows and exhibiting such level of, would I call it stupidity or ignorance? It's very unfortunate.
What do you expect from IPOB after the election?
Well, for me, I understood that IPOB are very tenacious. They are very committed, however odious or exasperating any situation. They have meant, of course, learned to maintain their composure. They remain, of course, resolute as their own leader, or as described as His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rightly said, that they have crossed the Rubicon, and is a point of no return, which I believe that they meant what they say. Then if they meant what they say, and they say what they meant, invariably that suggests that there is nothing on earth that could deter them. There is no force on earth that is enough to stop this movement. And this movement has gained, of course, international dimension, have assumed international dimension, and you can see the world is now seeing the true position of the Nigerian system. That Nigeria, of course, is a failed system, and what is now an obligation is a demand, an obligation on the United Nations to revoke the sovereignty of Nigerian states.
Okay.
And of course, declare the southern region of Nigeria as the United Nations protectorate, which is very much anticipated anyway. But we can continue with this system. Of course, the IPOB have given way for peace to reign because they are driven by the ideology of peace. They respect human, of course, dignity and the rights of individuals. They are not like Nigerian system, bent at destroying their own citizens. See, look at the useless, what happened in the Lekki toll gate, and somebody was defending the man that is a good man. I'm not disputing. If you don't give bribe, nobody will be there to take it, because the man gave bribe to have his way, and substandard materials was used to build a house that destroyed over 50 people. And what shocked me, you see, I have to go through the Google to find out what is the true position. Good country is called zoo in the world, and Google said Nigeria is zoo.
Somebody say beware.
Look at
DSS.
DSS. Please, you can have my number if you are an agent of DSS. 08064228967. 08064228967. That is my number, WhatsApp line. Then let me tell you, look at what baffles me is that, could you imagine, this is an emergency, is a national emergency. And the government of Lagos State, which said he is the incident commander, people were, rather than to engage people continuously in the excavation and rescue mission, they asked the people to go and rest. They should take some time. You see, I learned that some people were trapped in that debris were calling their own loved ones, testing them that they're still alive. But after 48 hours, even the government of Lagos State of Nigeria is a national disaster. It's not something Lagos State alone should have handled. Rather than prompt quick response to see, to ensure that at least we have less casualties. They delayed to up to 48 hours. The Nemasa or whatever they call the last mile or whatever is that the name. They only wear their what did they call Lasema. They only wear their what did they call it? Apron or jacket and be watching. And why there are people, your own citizens are being trapped in a debris, and there's the survivor, the chances of survival is just less than 50. Rather than prompt action, deploy all the equipment for such rescue mission. You delayed, and after delaying, you still ask the people to go and let them take some time. This is a country you call Nigeria that has no value for human life. Over 38 or 40 people have been discovered dead. If they have responded promptly, swiftly, probably it would have been about 10 people or so, let me say 15 people that could be dead, could have died, and other people could be rescued and taken to rehabilitation centers. This is a country I should, with all the billions of dollars coming from this country, Lagos State, they don't have facilities for such a rescue operation. It's very shameful in this modern dispensation.
Okay, thank you.
The people who went about because you found yourself within Nigeria, why shouldn't there be a substandard product when only Dangote is the, if I have to build, I cannot, that is my personal choice. I don't have to influence you. I can't use Dangote cement. Because you cannot control the entire market of over 250 million people just for one person. You see, he will do whatever he can, even gather ash and the put, and you buy it as cement. Why would there be, in fact, more house will continue to collapse? Because it's unfortunate that this system have allowed such level of mediocrity and monopoly. They should, break that monopoly so that there will be healthy competition. You can go for the best, and the best quality for your own money. It's very unfortunate, and I'm not happy with the position of the even Sanwo-Olu. By now, I think I should call for his resignation. Okay. It's a very big disappointment to humanity that people, your own citizens, we are trapped in such a debris, and whose life is at stake, and you went to sip for tea and think that all is well. It's very unfortunate.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie. That one is wonderful from Mr. Chigozie. Let me read this story. Police officers protest over non-payment of feeding allowance. That is, police officers deployed to the Anambra election. They protest over non-payment of feeding allowance. Police officers deployed for Saturday's governorship election in Anambra State have protested the alleged non-payment of their feeding allowance. The officers on Friday demanded that the 10,000 naira approved for their feeding allowance should be paid immediately. The cops, many of whom arrived in Anambra during the week, were not given accommodation. According to a video made available to Goldmine TV on Friday, the officers gathered at Idemili Ogidi Police Division chanting, "Pay us our money." That's what we were saying yesterday, and we expect that their money be paid so that this election will move on free and fair. We are likely to come to the end of Bystanders and Newsstand this morning. Mr. Rapp, Mr. Lucky, I don't think they're anywhere to be found this morning, but let's call it a close as we monitor the elections this morning. I'm Christian Chiku on this one edition of Bystanders at the Newsstand. A big thank you to the man behind the camera, Mr. Femi Davis, and everyone that has spoken. Mr. Charles, also a big thank you. Mr. David, big thank you. And that man that spoke this morning. And also Mr. Chigozie. We are saying till we meet next week, Monday, by God's grace. I am Christian Chuku. Bye for now.